Welcome. I thought this week I would have a no spend week, i.e. don't go to the grocery store because I have a lot of things in my fridge, pantry, freezer that I need to use up. So let me show you what I'm going to be making this week. Surprisingly enough, I was actually able to do this right after we got back from vacation. So I was able to put off going to the grocery store for a little bit. I did have to get some essentials during the week, which you'll see, but I did avoid a big grocery haul, like a $300 grocery haul. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right, happy Monday. I had a bag of French fries in my freezer. So they've already been in the oven, I don't know, probably for about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. I don't know, I was upstairs doing some laundry. I just pulled them out and salted them. I'm gonna put them back in the oven. And then we brought some food home from our cabin vacation. If you guys didn't see that video, I'll link it down below. But we had a package of hot dogs. I've got some cheese in the fridge, just a couple of fragments, and then I've also got some chili left over from when we had that for dinner well, it was probably about 3 nights ago. So I thought it would be perfect to make chili dogs, and I even have buns in here somewhere. Okay, so I know that some people like their hot dogs in the air fryer, which I like mine that way too, but my kids actually prefer them when I boil them on the stove. They don't mind them grilled either, but I'm not gonna heat up the grill just for chili dogs. Okay, so I'm gonna put some water in here. And then what I do is I just turn the heat on. I bring them to a boil them just for like a minute or two. And then I put the lid on and just let them sit for like 15 minutes. And then I'm also going to heat, let's see, I'm probably not gonna heat all of the chili up, and I'll save the other half for maybe Adam's lunch tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and shred some cheese for the chili dogs. I just have a piece of parchment paper down on the counter here. I also prepped this onion this weekend, and Adam likes onion on his chili dogs, so I'm just gonna cut up some of this. All right, so we've got our cheese, onions, hot dogs are done, fries are done, and my chili. I also set out some cherry tomatoes and some fruit. We've got some grapes and some strawberries. So chili dogs are definitely always a winner. Everyone loves them and everyone can customize them to fit what they like. Okay, so along with saving money on groceries, which I feel like is something on all of our minds right now, I've also been working on going to bed earlier because school is starting, and that means I have to get up at 5:30 in order to get my kids ready. And one of the things I think that people miss about getting up early is that if you're gonna get up earlier, what do you have to do? You actually have to go to bed earlier. And that is why I'm super excited that Beam is sponsoring this video. So thank you to them. I've actually worked with them here before on my channel, and their dream powder, I use it whenever I need to go to bed early and I feel like I'm not gonna be able to fall asleep, and it works super well. I have tried so many sleeping aids in the past, and honestly, the biggest problem that I have experienced in the past is that I feel like very groggy and almost like hungover the next morning. But whenever I use Beam, the Dream formula, it does not do that at all. It helps me fall asleep fast and I feel awesome the next morning. In fact, I took some last night and I am chipper and ready to go today. I got up at 5:30. Took Kira to early bird practice, bing, bang, boom, done. Beam's Dream formula helps you fall asleep and stay asleep, and also helps you wake up refreshed. Like I said, there's no grogginess, and honestly, it is super delicious. What I really like about it also is that there is no added sugar, and it's only 15 calories per serving, so you don't have to worry about having extra sugar or calories in your diet. It's also gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, non-GMO, and it's keto-friendly as well. They actually have a ton of different flavors of Dream, which you can find on their website. I have been loving the mint chip. It is seriously so delicious. And I don't know what it is about drinking a hot drink before bed. It's just like super warm and comforting. But if you guys are also looking to wake up earlier, fall asleep faster, or just stay asleep, whatever your sleep issues are, I highly recommend Beam. You can find a link in the description box below. It's shopbeam.com/Jen Chapin, or you can also scan the QR code on the screen right here. And if you subscribe, you actually save 20% Plus, you get an additional 15% off and a free frother with my code Chapin. That's CHAPIN when you click the link below. That is up to 35% off the original price. You can pause, skip, or cancel anytime, so there's definitely no risk. Once again, that code is Chapin to get your significant discount. I'll have that link along with the coupon code down below. Seriously recommend you try Beam Dream today. Happy Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. Tonight we're making BLTs. I pretty much always have a package of bacon either in my fridge or my freezer. I just happen to have one in my fridge. I have lettuce, I have tomatoes, I have bread, I have mayo, and then sides. I don't usually stress too much about sides because I can always find something. I've got some veggies I can cut up, fruit, chips, and French onion dip. I was thinking I was gonna make mac and cheese, but I actually don't have time to do that tonight because it's already after 6 and we've been running the kids around to practices and whatnot. Connor started football practice this week. So yeah, I will put the bacon out on a sheet tray and get that in the oven. All right, since I'm actually running out of time today, I'm actually gonna cook my bacon in the skillet. This is not how I prefer to do it. I prefer to bake it in the oven because there's much less mess. I do, however, have a splatter shield in here somewhere, and obviously I can use that. I do have a confession to make. I told you guys I wasn't gonna go to the store this week, but I'm making some freezer meals for a different video assignment, and so I did have to pick up a few things. So shame on me, but this is actually for something different. So I did get some brown sugar, some soy sauce, some dip. They had these veggies on like a little bit of a clearance for $2 off, and I thought, why not grab those? And then I did get some mac and pea salad. Adam really likes that. And then there's just some eggs and some fruit in here. I'm pretty sure this produce washer thing is like my favorite Temu purchase ever. So I can link it down below, but I did go ahead and get some fresh peaches that were on sale at Fairway. So I'm just gonna go ahead and rinse those off. We'll have those with our BLTs. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get all of the ingredients put together for the BLTs. So I like to slice up the tomatoes and season them with some salt and pepper. I find that that makes the BLTs just taste a little bit better. And then I'm cutting up the peaches. Those were really good. I just make our BLTs very simply: bread, mayo, bacon, obviously tomato, lettuce. I actually need to go down to the farmer's market and see if I can get some fresh tomatoes to make like salsa and stuff with. That would be really good. But this is a meal that everyone loves. Obviously everyone can make their sandwich how they want it. This was Adam's. He had some macaroni salad on the side along with the peaches. Okay, so Wednesday, this was just a super quick dinner. We were running kids back and forth to practice. I had some leftover taco meat in the refrigerator, and so I made the Dorito shell tacos for the kids, but then for myself, I made myself a taco salad bowl with some of the Quest chips. It was really good, and tacos are always a winner. All right, so tonight for dinner, I'm making a ravioli bake. I just happen to have all the things for this on hand. I found a big bag of frozen ravioli out in the deep freeze, and I had some marinara sauce in the pantry. I had some ground beef in the freezer and had some mozzarella cheese as well. So all you do for this, it's super easy. Basically, you just layer marinara sauce. I used 2 jars, a bag of frozen ravioli. You can use cheese or meat or whatever you'd like. And then I also did sprinkle in some cooked ground beef. That is optional, but it does obviously give it a little bit of extra protein. And then basically you just complete, or repeat, if I could speak, the layers of that until you have 3 layers of ravioli sauce, beef, and then you sprinkle cheese on the top. This does take a little bit to bake, and it does soak up a lot of the sauce, so that's why you kind of have to use 2 jars of marinara. I've got my oven set at 400, so I'm gonna put foil on this. I'll probably put it in the oven for 30 minutes, and I'll probably check on it after 25 minutes and see if it's heated through. But I like to take off the foil at the end just so it gets a little bit brown. Okay, so with the ravioli bake, I'm gonna make some garlic bread and a salad. So I have this loaf of bread. This is just a French loaf of bread. I actually bought it for something else last week and stuck it in the fridge so it wouldn't go bad. But I need about this much of it. So I went ahead and cut this much off. I'm gonna cut this into slices, and then we're gonna make our own garlic butter. It's super easy. You just melt some butter. I do it in the microwave. I add a little bit of salt, pepper, some garlic paste, or you could also use minced garlic or garlic powder. And then I also add some parsley flakes to it as well. So basically I just tried to slice this garlic bread just kind of like the frozen kind that you buy in the store. I added some of the garlic paste to my melted butter, some parsley, seasoned it with salt and pepper. So here's the garlic bread. I used about 3/4 of a stick of butter, probably about, I don't know, 2 teaspoons of garlic paste, a little bit of salt, pepper, and some parsley flakes. And I did butter the bottom a little bit as well, just so they wouldn't stick. So I took the foil off the ravioli after about 30 minutes. That'll probably take another 10 minutes, so I'll just leave it in there while the garlic bread cooks. All right, so here's our dinner. We've got our ravioli bake, and our garlic bread turned out really good. The ravioli was heated all the way through. And then I had some salad left over along with some paper plates or some plastic plates from the other night. We had pizza for Connor's birthday, so I'm using that for our side salads. And this is what we are going to have for dinner, so bon appetit. Okay, so this is my Greek Chicken Gyros freezer meal. I thought it out. You can cook this in the slow cooker, but I'm going to go ahead and cook it on the grill because I don't have time to wait for it to slow cook. So I'm just going to cook this. I preheated the grill like quite a bit, so I turned it down to low heat, and I'll just cook these for a couple minutes aside until they're cooked. We're going to see if those onions stay up there. I'm not sure they will, but we'll do our best. Okay, so this was definitely one of the meals that I kind of made on the fly. I mean, obviously I prepped the chicken ahead of time, but there's obviously several different ways you can use it. So I kind of decided to make bowls out of this. I had some tomatoes and some red onions in the fridge, so I cut those up. I also had some fresh dill that was still good, so I went ahead and cut that up as well as some feta. I really love to use the block feta, and then I cut it up myself, and then I also had some cucumber. So I really had all of the ingredients on hand to put together this like cucumber feta tomato salad. It was really good. I always keep citrus in my fridge, so I went ahead and put some of that into there as well. Basically just season it with salt and pepper, and this turned out really good. You'll see kind of how I put this together, but essentially this chicken turned out so good on the grill, and you could either put it in bowls like I did for Adam or make it into pita breads. It's really, really versatile. Okay, so I think the chicken is done. I am gonna throw a few of these low-carb pita breads on there, and we'll just put the chicken in a bowl and let it rest a minute along with the onions. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off and then let the pita bread warm through. So I also wanted to cut up some lettuce to basically kind of dress with lemon juice and salt and pepper and olive oil and kind of make like a little salad either to put in the pitas or in the bowl. But this is one of the recipes I made for the Freezer Fit website. If you guys haven't joined that yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. I'll put a link in the description box below where I have a discount with them, but basically it's a freezer meal website where you can make custom shopping lists. There's tons of awesome recipes. This is one of them. It turned out so good. So this was Adam's bowl. Basically, I put some chicken in there, some rice, greens, the tomato salad, some low-carb pitas, and some tzatziki sauce. And then mine, I stuffed the chicken along with some dill and some salad into the low-carb pitas, and this was so good. Even Adam, I was like, hey, this is really healthy. And he's like, hey, I really enjoyed it. So I guess that's always a win, right? Okay, so this was actually my birthday. Yes, I turned 40, and to console myself, obviously I had to make myself steak. So I looked in my freezer and I had a couple fillets that I had gotten from Costco the last time I was there. And then I also had a sirloin steak. I can't remember where I got that from, but basically, I just thawed everything. I seasoned it really well with this blackened seasoning from Cabela's, and I am going to put these in the sous vide. So I've gotten several requests for dedicated video for sous vide recipes, so I'm going to be working on that within the next month or so. But I personally think that sous vide is the best way to cook steak at home, and you don't even have to have a really expensive setup. We have this water tub, and basically you put the steak in the bag. You don't even have to have a vacuum sealer. You just drop it down into the water and it kind of seals on its own. You seal it up, and then you set the temperature to whatever temperature you want your steak to be cooked at. I set it at 138, which is about medium to medium well. Also on this night, I made the kids some mac and cheese that I had in the pantry. And then I also made them some popcorn shrimp in the air fryer just because they're not the hugest fans of steak. But essentially when the steak is done, it's going to kind of just sit in the water bath. And I totally forgot to get a picture of our plates, so I'm super sorry about that. But after it was done in the sous vide, Adam just seared it on the grill. And then we had a very simple sides of mac and cheese, and then I had some homemade ranch dressing in the refrigerator that I had left over from Connor's pizza party earlier in the week. And so basically I just made some really good salads with some lettuce and some homemade dressing. It was so good. So don't forget to check out Beam for all of your sleep needs. I highly recommend them. I'll have that link in the description box below, or scan the QR code on the screen right here. And if you want to see my latest Walmart grocery haul for the week, this was actually after I did this pantry week, you can click right here.